Hello, everybody. DefiasAxeman here. I wanted to come in and just tell you a few things that I think would improve the quality of life with Dead by Daylight. Currently, I think Dead by Daylight, in my opinion, is in a very good spot right now. I'm happy with what the behavior is doing, and this is in no way me telling them how to do their job. I just want to see some things at some point, maybe someday down the future, that would really improve my experience with this game as somebody who's played it for a couple of years. The first thing I would love to see, and this is pretty important to me, is either the removal or a rework to map offerings. Now, of course, I don't want to just go out there and just say remove map offerings. I'd like to offer something, in my opinion, that would fix them in a way. And what I mean by that is when a player, whether it's killer or survivor, plays a map offering, I feel like they should actually do the reverse of what they actually do. When somebody plays a map offering, I feel that it should ban the map that they're playing it for. If a killer plays the game, then the game should no longer be in the map pool. Of course, this will still be affected by sacrificial warts, which will nullify that and any other map offering that's been offered, and put those back into the map pool. But I do think that making map offerings ban maps rather than make it so it's a 100% chance we're going there would help ease a lot of things, including when killers or survivors want to abuse map spawn mechanics. We've seen it in the past. I know I've seen it on Batum with players who want to abuse the basement of the school. So they'll bring a build that makes it, particularly in that situation, difficult to take a survivor out of the basement. We've also seen it with other maps like RPE. We've seen it with a lot of the Azerovs, and we've seen it with Erie and any other maps like that. I just think this would be a great change to see someday, and I hope they do take that into consideration. The second thing I find, and it's probably the most grating part about the game, is the sounds that are made when you're doing the blood web. I absolutely despise hearing that sound, and usually I will mute it while I'm doing the blood web, while I'm watching a YouTube or listening to music in the background. I will usually mute Dead by Daylight. Now, I would love the ability just to not have to do the muting part and just disable the sounds altogether. I do think this would be a huge improvement on the blood web. I do want to also just give props to Behavior for the changes they have already made to the blood web, and I don't want to discredit those, but this would just be one more extra change that would be nice to see. The next thing that I think would be a great change to see, and that is with totems. Currently as it stands, when you bring a totem into the map, it has a chance to randomly spawn at any of 5 totems that are currently on the map. Now, my proposed change would prevent things like your totem being cleansed, 20 seconds into a match. Especially if it's like your Devour or something really strong, maybe your Ruin or something. It's very frustrating when that happens. In my opinion, the best way to fix this, to prevent this from happening, would be to make it to where the killer can basically choose which totems have their hexes. Now, of course, I'm not saying let's have a pre-lobby screen where the killer gets to pick which he wants to go to. I think it should work a lot like Pentimento works now. Basically, when you have a hex, all the totems are highlighted in white, just like they are. And whenever you want to go place a totem, you can go to the nearest totem or to one that's well hidden, in your opinion, and light it just like you do with Pentimento. The only exception to this, and I think it should remain as it is no ed. No ed should definitely automatically light as soon as the gens finish on a random totem. This can also probably remain the same for other hex perks like Face the Darkness or even the new Dracula perk. The last 2 points I want to bring up actually involve bloat in the game, and what I feel is the hardest thing for a new player to take hold of when they come into the game. It's very overwhelming. To ease new players into this game, I think there could be 2 changes that are made. One of them is that old characters, the old characters, I'm not talking about like, Yunjin or anybody within the last few years, but characters that are like 5 or 6 years, maybe even 7 years old, should just be free, included with the game. I think that would help bring new players in. It would give them access to more content without having to dole out the extra money, and might keep people around a little bit longer. Now, the last thing is kind of a proposed change to the game to help prevent stale metas, to increase creativity in the game, and to make characters feel special. Killers already feel special, but I'm talking mostly about survivors. You know, when you go into a game and you're playing as Bill, there's basically no difference between playing Bill and Jeff and any other loud survivor. They're all the same. They're basically just interchangeable skins. This proposed change could make survivors feel unique. And that is, I think there should be a perk rotation. There are hundreds of perks in the game, and we typically only see like 20 of those perks ever. That's pretty frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating for behavior. I'm sure it's frustrating for people who play the game a lot because they just see the same thing over and over again. And sometimes it's frustrating for everybody around, especially if it's like a meta like the gen kicking meta, or even the made for this meta. Metas are just boring in general. And again, my solution to this is to make certain perks only usable each week or maybe 2 weeks, and then rotate them. This would not apply to any of the perks of the survivor's own perks. So say you're running Dwight, then he would have his 3 perks available to him at all times, but any one of those perks could be disabled for another survivor. I do feel like this would really help out. There's been other options that people have, brought forward, and I just thought this would be something nice to see. I'd love to have some discussion around perk rotations, maybe why or why not it won't work. I feel like with the kill switches and where they're at now, it probably would be a huge boon for the game. Let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear from you. And with that, I think I'll go. For now, you can catch me at twitch.tv/DefiasAxeman. I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.